Turning, looking,
It is Friday night baseball under the lights from the big ballpark in the Bronx. We got the Kansas City Royals versus the New York Yankees. Will the offense break out of its slumber and put some runs on the board? My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. All right. How's it going, everybody? Well, Luis Castillo is off the board. I know a lot of you Yankees fans were hyped about the possibility of trading for him. I was as well, but Brian Cashman's going to have some other work to do. He has been traded to the Mariners. That is a breaking news story, so tune in to ESPN or Baseball Network after this broadcast and, see what they got for him. I'm curious to see what the final haul was for Castillo and anxious to know what the Yankees offered. Another comeback win for the Yankees tonight. Another big night for Aaron Judge.
More of that, please.
Look, the MVP race is over. It's over. I don't care what Shohei Ohtani does this year. Nobody is beating Aaron Judge in the MVP race. The guy's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hey, before we get to the recap, I got to talk about two things. Number one, I'm all caught up on the ESPN Derek Jeter series, The Captain. I didn't do a review today. I had to watch them late in the day. First two episodes were good. Episode 3 was great, and episode 4 was phenomenal. We've gone through the championships, and now we're on into the A-Rod years. So it's a lot of great dynamics, a lot of great behind-the-scenes stuff, some funny moments. Shout out to Randy Wilkins and the producers. It's picking up steam as it goes along. If you're not watching it yet, it might be a good way to kill some time while we wait for the trade deadline. Also, major announcement for the channel and for the podcast version of this channel. The Freeze, which is the audio version, has been picked up by the Blue Wire Podcast Network. It's always been called The Freeze, but it's going to be switched over to NYY Recaps, just like the channel. The brand has grown, so we're going to kind of branch out and just keep the same brand to it. And at some point in August, it will be on the same network as Bronx Pinstripes, which is one of the top 10 baseball podcasts in terms of listeners. So, this big news. So stay tuned for more detail on that. And by the way, thank you to the audience. This is the number one post-game show on YouTube and number one solo Yankees podcast on YouTube. So I'm excited to expand. Cheers to you guys. Great place to be. Win or loss, we always have a good time. Great community here. And I'll tell you what, Aaron Judge is absolutely unbelievable. First inning, first batter, he goes over the right field wall to bring back a home run. Nobody's going to remember that because he had 2 home runs in the game, but he stole a run. For you metrics guys, that's 1 defensive run saved. And that play right there is why I like him better in right field. You don't get as many opportunities to do that in center field because you got more ground to cover, takes you longer to get back to the wall. And, it's just a lot less balls that get hit out there as opposed to the short right field porch. But we've seen it from him in the past. We've seen it in the playoffs. He barely needs to jump, and he can get over that wall and nullify the first row. So, unbelievable play that's going to get overlooked. Bottom one, Anthony Rizzo went deep to left center. His 24th tater of the season. And he is starting to come out of it. He had some really good swings tonight. It's not easy for a lefty to take the ball opposite field, kind of. I mean, it was really more center field, but it was to the left of center field. So, almost kind of opposite field. It's not an easy shot for a lefty. Bottom 3, Aaron Judge.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Getting ridiculous. Getting absolutely ridiculous. 40th home run of the season. He was not done. Gerrit Cole was great for the first 4 innings, but he seemed to lose his feel in the 5th inning. There was some bad defense. The rain was picking up. The Royals erupted for 5 runs after not having scored in over 30 innings. Salvador Perez, back off the IL, capped it off with a home run to give the Royals the lead. And at that point, it was almost like a tale of 2 games. The first half, and then from that point, the Royals kind of dominated the next few innings. Gerrit Cole was done after 6, final line, 7 hits, 5 runs, no walks, 9 strikeouts. Had the fastball working, had the breaking ball working, got some calls from the umpire. But overall, I thought he was fine. Just 1 bad inning. We've seen that happen before. Hope it doesn't happen in the playoffs. The home run is what people are going to remember from that. But really, the defense let him down too. IKF should have made a play at shortstop. Now it was wet and the ball was hit hard, so it kind of skipped. You gotta knock it down or something. You can't let it skip through. He also threw one away earlier in the game. There was a play that Rizzo should have made, so the defense didn't help him. Aroldis Chapman came in to pitch pretty well tonight. We saw the fastball get up to 102 from him. 8th inning, 23-minute rain delay, and then Albert Abreu came in. And he was really good. And he continues to improve. Again, another triple digits guy that you got for practically nothing. And you got Jose Trevino for him when you traded him. So that's a Cashman move right there. Bottom 8, Yankees loaded the bases for Andrew Benintendi. He picked up his first hit as a Yankee, knocked in a run. 40th RBI of the season for him. And then Aaron Hicks walked to tie the game. It looked like he got hit by a pitch. They reviewed it, ended up having to throw a few more pitches, but he walks to tie the game. And then IKF with the redemption. He picked up a base hit through the left side. That gave the Yankees the lead. And then Trevino bounced out to third to score Benintendi. That gave the Yankees a 7-5 lead. And then, oh my goodness, Aaron Judge.
He's done it again.
Opposite field grand slam, 2nd home run of the game, 41st home run of the season. As noted by Lori C., tied for Babe Ruth for the most home runs before August in team history. Absolutely incredible. Unbelievable. Another Babe Ruth record got tied by another New York athlete, by the way. Daniel Vogelbach tied a Babe Ruth record for most hot dogs consumed during the game yesterday. So, congrats to him. Yankees hang on to win a nail-biter, 11-5.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
More of that, please.
Tactical Tony says, congrats on the growth. Appreciate that. If Judge leaves New York, Cashman should join him. In 26 years of being a Yankee fan, never been this excited for bats. It's going to come down to a couple of things. Will the Yankees go above and beyond what they're comfortable with? In the past, they haven't shown a willingness to do that except for maybe Derek Jeter. And is Judge just in it for the money? Will he go to an Angels or a Giants or a Dodgers or a Mets for a higher paycheck? Or will he stay and take a great contract for a little less to remain with the Yankees? I guess we'll find out. But tonight, he is the belt winner.
Let's go. Belt winner.
Yankees 286 says, the fact that Novelli Marte was dealt means that Volpe would have been dealt. No deal. So Volpe, Yankees top shortstop prospect. Actually, on a lot of lists, Peraza is above Volpe, but I think Volpe is the guy. Look, we knew it was going to come down to some of these names. I guess we'll find out on Sunday Or sorry, it used to be Sunday. Now it's going to be Tuesday. They pushed it back to August 2nd this year. So, all right. Michael Ryan says months is not as good. I think he means Montas. My autocorrect always does months instead of Montas too. Let's take a look at the box score tonight because this was a good one. Alejandro says, Judge, blank check now.
Hey, that's me and his man.
He's like, every night we have this discussion. So the Yankees score 11 runs. They are now 68 and 33. 101st game of the season is in the books. 61 to go. Albert Abreu picks up the win. He is 2-0, 2.22 ERA. A lot of twos in there. The Yankees get 11 hits. The Royals get 9. Look at that night for Judge. 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored and 6 RBIs. Hitting .297, 1.046 ERA. I believe he's now got 11 home runs in his last 13 games. Can that be right? I think it was 9 home runs in 12 games coming in. So 10, 11 in 13. That's unbelievable to me. I mean, this is a video game numbers. If I was doing this in a video game, I would turn up the difficulty. Rizzo gets a multiple hit game tonight with a home run. He's up to 225, creeping back up. You'd like to get him over 230 at least, just to make him feel good. Torres 2 for 5 tonight. And then Donaldson 1 for 5. Benintendi 1 for 3. Hicks 0 for 3. Kiner Falefa 1 for 4 with a big single and an RBI. 15-game hitting streak for him. Higashioka 0 for 2. And then Carpenter 1 for 1 pinch hit single. Trevino takes the collar 0 for 1. Gerrit Cole, ERA up to 3.30 on the season. He was not great. You got to get away from that one bad inning excuse. Defense let you down. That's when you break out the strikeout pitch. Doesn't matter how many guys you strike out when you're winning big. It's, you got to strike guys out in key situations. Got to dial it up for Salvador Perez there. You can't let him beat you. But Yankees win the game, so I'm not going to eat his lunch over it. Aroldis Chapman, scoreless inning tonight. Like we said, velocity was back up. Abreu, scoreless inning. And Peralta shuts it down, strikes out the side, and the Yankees finish this one off. Puerto Rican veteran says, get ready for Jose Quintana. He's not bad. I believe he's with Pittsburgh, right? I like Martin Perez with Texas. There's a lot of interesting names out there. I'm seeing Shohei Ohtani's name brought up more. Now, look, I don't think that the Angels would trade him because, look, this is a business, and they make a lot of overseas money on him. So I think they're going to hang on and trade him next year at the deadline. They'll get as much out of him as they can. But if the feeling from him is that he would rather be dealt, if maybe his agent has asked to be traded, he's somebody that you definitely go all in for. Even maybe more so than Soto because he brings the pitching aspect and he brings the speed aspect. Now, Soto, he's probably a better offensive player long-term over the next 15 years. Ohtani can help you win a World Series this year, though. I don't think it's a realistic possibility, but would not surprise me if he does get dealt. It would surprise me, but it wouldn't surprise me that much. Grand Toro says, are there still other trade options? Yeah, there's a few people out there. The Yankees might believe that their internal options in terms of starting pitching can get it done. Waldichuk. I would like to see them go get at least a couple of relievers. Daniel Bard is somebody that you got to get out of Colorado. Throws 100 miles an hour. Pretty good command. James G says Judge will finish with a 300 batting average and 1,000 OPS for sure. I hope so.
More of that, please.
Hyphen Dinero really wanted Castillo. I did too.
I hardly agree.
Not even going to try and pronounce that. Says, let's be honest, Matheny let Barlow out there to die. Yeah, he definitely took one for the team tonight, but it's his own fault. He's a guy, he's a high leverage reliever, and he seemed like he was scared. There'd been some talk about him getting traded to the Yankees, and I don't think I want him now after watching that. It looked like he folded after giving up a big home run last night. Anthony Segarra says the Yankees are interested in Thor. For the baseball layman, that would be Noah Syndergaard. I'm not really sure what he's doing this year. I'm going to have to dig into his metrics in just a second. Let's see. We got a couple more super donos. Says Judge is the real deal, Derek. Agreed. Absolutely.
I wholeheartedly agree.
100%. Gabriel Vasquez says, I'd like to see Waldichuk called up. Got to be better than Herman. You know, Herman showed better stuff last time out, but I still think he's a bullpen guy. You know, he's got a very slight frame. And don't give me wiry strong. Sorry, this is spazzing out over here. I think that he would benefit from going to the bullpen. I think his stuff would play up in the bullpen. I think he could probably throw a little bit harder if you move him to the bullpen. But, hey, I would love to see Waldichuk get a shot. Let's take a look. Let's go to look at some baseball savant stuff. Who did we say we were going to look at? Noah Syndergaard? Something we've been doing on the show lately as we approach the trade deadline. Let me get this. And then we'll pull up Shohei Ohtani. All right. Brandon says Rodon and Tyler Mahe could be traded for. How are they doing this year? I think Tyler Mahe just got traded to the Mets, didn't he? I thought he did. I could be mistaken on that one. Average exit velocity against for Noah Syndergaard, 72nd percentile. Hard hit percentage in the 70th percentile. A lot of stuff is below. Like the expected ERA is below. His actual ERA is 3.83. So, you know, he's been basically a Jordan Montgomery level pitcher this year in terms of earned runs. 1.21 whip is pretty good. Not loving what I'm seeing on the fastball spin or the curveball spin. You know, maybe the Yankees think they could do something with him. When he first came up, he was absolutely the real deal, but he was one of those guys who was like operating beyond the limits of the human body, and that's why he got hurt. That's the same reason Jacob deGrom gets hurt all the time. You can get this good, but it's really hard to maintain it without getting hurt. Let's see here. David says a couple of years back we would have wanted Thor, but not now. Bob Tremblay with the dono. Appreciate that, Bob. Ryan Evans says, do you think we should see if AJ Burnett can come out of retirement? I think I'll pass on Mr. AJ Burnett. Appreciate that.
Excellent.
Richard Lewis says the top hat is 2-0. Can't stop wearing it. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about cause and effect. The win comes before the hat, rather than the hat before the win. It's not like I'm watching the game in my top hat here. I usually actually am wearing the Yankees hat. Tonight I wasn't even wearing a hat, but just before I went on, I have a microphone over here that's it's like hat storage. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's tough to see. But it's a microphone that's kind of propped up for my other computer, and I use it as hat storage. So I just pick one. So, all right, let's take a look at Shohei Ohtani. He's the number one searched StatCast metric man on this website. I don't know what it would take to get him, but you could count on pretty much everything having to be included. Matthew says, what jersey do you have on? Rizzoli? It's actually a number 24. It was originally Gary Sanchez, but that's the beauty of being a Yankee fan. Now it's a Matt Carpenter. So, all right, so we're looking at Shohei Ohtani. This is his hitting chart. And, again, this is insane. I mean, he's in the upper level of everything. Exit velocity, max exit velocity. He's 28 years old. I thought he was younger. I thought he was 26. Expected slugging is very high. Walk percentage is great. Chase rate is great. Sprint speed, he's so fast. He'd be one of the faster Yankees. And then look at that spray chart. He hits the ball all over the ballpark to all fields with power. You can see why the Yankees wanted him. Traditional stats, he's hitting .253 with an .833 OPS. 21 home runs from the left side, 59 ribbies, and 11 stolen bases. Now let's take a look at his pitching. How do we do that? Okay, so we switched over. Sometimes it takes a second for the StatCast metrics to load just because of Safari. It doesn't work great with Safari. And it's not showing up. So his pitching numbers 9-6 on the season, 2.81 ERA in 17 starts, 145 strikeouts in 99 in the third innings. All right, here's the pitching metrics. So average exit velocity in the 69th percentile. That's nice. Hard hit percentage in the 65th percentile, 88th percentile in expected batting average, 98th percentile in strikeout percentage. Fastball velocity is dope. Whiff percentage is phenomenal. Spin is about average. But, I mean, this guy is a StatCast god, essentially. There's nobody like him. There may never be anybody like him. And the Yankees already have somebody that nobody is really like, and that's Aaron Judge. And Giancarlo Stanton, who breaks StatCast with his exit velocity. So the Yankees, if they're going for StatCast metrics, would go after Ohtani. Brett Deutsch says, Castillo getting traded just drove up the cost of lesser options. Houston has shown their starters are far more capable. Prospect hugging cost us again. That is unless the prospects come up and, pitch well. But appreciate the dono. Board Rican Veteran says, Rodon, Montas, Ohtani, Quintana in that order. Rodon has great stuff. I don't think he's having a great year, but let's take a look at his StatCast numbers real quick. I'm going to move the camera up just a little bit because I keep covering my own face. All right, so Rodon. Rodon went to high school right around where I live. Occasionally when I go practice, they have his jersey hanging up on the wall. So the traditional stats for him are okay. 8-6 with a 3.18 ERA, 20 starts, 116 innings, 148 strikeouts. He was somebody that I wanted the Yankees to sign this winter. I would be totally fine with them going to get him. 86th percentile in expected ERA. Really good with the chase rate, with the fastball velocity. The walks, not great. The Yankees generally like guys who throw more strikes, but still, just a whip of 1.12 because he doesn't get hit that much. So, hey, I would love to see Rodon get moved. Let's take a look at Montas. Now, Montas might not have a lot of stats because he missed some time with an injury, but he's 4-9 with a 3.18 ERA. And you see he's pretty much middle of the road in a lot of areas. Chase rate is pretty good. That's probably because of the slider. The slider, you can see, is thrown harder than league average, so it gets a lot of misses. Fastball velocity in the 72nd percentile. And he's a big dude, 6'2", 255 pounds. Sometimes those bigger guys can hide the ball really well. So, all right, let's go ahead and get your final comments here. We're going to put up the highlights. All right. Let's see here. Oh, it's, for some reason, showing the lineup. Oh, it's not working. Oh, here we go. All right. So, Gerrit Cole, this was a fastball up and away, gets hooked to right field. Aaron Judge goes up, brings it back. Look, his arm is about, a foot and a half over the wall. I mean, that's incredible. No Jeffrey Mayer interference there. This is a fastball outside, and Rizzo just stays with it, 93 miles an hour, just barrels it up and puts it into the loading dock out there in left center. Great swing. Level to the ball, through the baseball. Here's Aaron Judge. This is an outside changeup that he hooks and hits out of the ballpark to left field into the bleachers. How many guys can take an outside changeup and hit it over 400 feet to left field? Unreal. Fastball at 99 from Gerrit Cole. This one zips by Melendez. And then Perez, swing and a miss. This is a good slider. Had him bailing on the super shot. Another slider gets the call there. That was at 89. And then this was a line drive over Rizzo for 2 runs, and then the home run was on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Good pitch at the top of the zone. Probably needs to miss above the zone, but Perez hits it out of the ballpark. This is Benintendi's first hit with the Yankees. Infield single. IKF extends his hitting streak through the left side. Base knock. And then Judge with the long fly ball to right field. Get out, baby. Grand slam. And I will see you tomorrow night.